Have you ever checked your bank account a few days before payday and thought, wait, where did all my money go? Maybe you earn a decent income. Maybe you work hard, pay your bills on time, and try to stay responsible with money. And yet, somehow, it still feels like you're always just one step away from running out before the next paycheck arrives. Well, if that sounds familiar, you're definitely not alone. In fact, millions of Americans say they're living paycheck to paycheck. And what's surprising is, this isn't just people with low incomes. Even individuals earning solid middle-class or even six-figure salaries often feel the same pressure. So the real question is, why is this happening? Why do so many Americans feel like they're working hard but not really moving forward financially? Well, one of the biggest reasons is simply the cost of living. Housing, for example, takes a huge portion of income for most people. Whether it's rent or mortgage payments, a big part of the paycheck is already committed before the month even begins. And then there are the basics: groceries, electricity, transportation, insurance, and healthcare. Individually, they may not seem extreme, but together, they slowly eat away at income in a way that's hard to notice day to day. And speaking of groceries, inflation has made everyday life more expensive. You might have noticed it yourself. The same shopping basket that used to cost a certain amount now feels noticeably higher. Fuel prices, household items, dining out, everything has gradually increased. The challenge is that income hasn't always increased at the same pace for everyone. So even if people are earning more than before, their purchasing power doesn't always feel stronger. Now, another major factor is debt, and this one is really important. Debt itself isn't always the problem. Mortgages, student loans, car loans, these are very common, but the pressure builds when high-interest debt enters the picture, especially credit cards. Because once balances start carrying over month after month, a portion of the paycheck doesn't go toward building savings anymore. It goes straight into interest payments. And over time, that creates a cycle that's hard to break. Then there's something many people don't even notice happening: lifestyle inflation. So basically, as income increases, spending tends to increase right along with it. A raise comes in, and maybe there's a slightly better car, a bigger apartment, more subscriptions, more eating out, more convenience spending, and slowly, without realizing it, expenses rise to match income. So even though someone is earning more, they don't actually feel financially ahead. Healthcare also plays a big role, especially for older Americans. Even with insurance, there are deductibles, prescriptions, unexpected procedures, and medical bills that can add up quickly. And in some cases, just one health issue can create serious financial stress. And then there's something very simple, but extremely important: the lack of an emergency fund. Life is unpredictable. A car breaks down. A home appliance stops working. A medical bill arrives out of nowhere. And when there's no savings set aside, many people are forced to rely on credit cards or loans just to get through the situation. That's where things can start to spiral. Now, here's something important to understand. Living paycheck to paycheck doesn't automatically mean someone is careless with money. That's a common assumption, but reality is usually more complicated than that. For many people, it's a mix of rising costs, debt, inflation, and life circumstances all happening at the same time. So what can actually be done about it? Well, first step is awareness. Understanding where your money is going. Because a lot of people are surprised when they actually track their expenses for a month. Small things, subscriptions, food delivery, impulse purchases, they often add up more than expected. Second, reducing high-interest debt can make a noticeable difference over time. Because the less money going toward interest, the more flexibility you have every month. Third, building even a small emergency fund can change everything. It doesn't have to be large at first. Even a small buffer creates breathing room when unexpected expenses show up. And finally, increasing income, when possible, can sometimes have a bigger long-term impact than cutting expenses alone. That might mean learning a new skill, asking for a raise, or exploring additional income streams. At the end of the day, the reason so many Americans live paycheck to paycheck usually isn't just one thing. It's a combination of rising living costs, debt, lifestyle changes, and unexpected financial pressures. And maybe the most important takeaway is this: financial stability doesn't usually come from one big change. It comes from small, consistent improvements over time. Little by little, those changes add up, and that's what eventually creates real financial breathing room.